Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a Kat Von D metal eyeshadow tutorial. This is going to be also a full face tutorial. So if you want to hurry up and skip to the eye section, it's going to be about midway through. This is a very vampy, sultry winter eye look. It's very dramatic. You can definitely soften up if you want to. I'm also using a few new products that I just recently purchased that I'm absolutely loving. So if you're interested in learning how to do this look at home, just keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do and you want to make positively sure of is that you start with a clean surface of the face. So for one, I just washed my face and I forgot to use, I use a Philosephy Purity. Philosephy is first of all one of my favorite brands in the whole entire world for skincare, and for that's the only body wash that I recommend. It does not dry my skin out. But first and foremost, I always like to use the Clinique Clarifying Lotion. This is a liquid exfoliator. For those of you who have never used it, you should totally try this out. I totally like to do this in the morning before I put my makeup on because it pretty much gets all the excess oil and the dirt off and makeup that you probably still had or on your pillow. You always touch your face, constantly touch your face, you're constantly putting dirt and bacteria on it. So this just kind of helps. Definitely do not use this in place of a face wash because it's definitely not going to get everything off. It does have alcohol in it, which is a really good form of removing any type of dirt from the face. And like for example, I haven't worn makeup since yesterday, and I actually did this earlier when I woke up. It's now like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm kind of like late at filming. But as you can see, look at all of that dirt. That is like dead skin cells, and that's just like dirt because I've been just like touching my face. So you definitely want to get all of that off first. And you can do it again if you want, but I'm not going to be extra today. So now I'm going to be taking my Dr. Brandt Triple Peptide Eye Cream. You definitely want to make sure that your skin is hydrated under your eye because you do not want any creasing. Because when you wear foundation and you put concealer on, it can get very dry under there and it can get cakey very easily if it's not prepped properly. So always make sure to just dab this in. It's not good to rub the underneath of your eye, of course. I'm sure you all have heard that. I'm just going to do the other one. I've been using this for the last couple of days and I've actually really been liking it. Apparently it's supposed to be very good for preventing wrinkles, getting rid of wrinkles, and also helping with darkness under the eyes. So once that's done and you've pat that all out, you need to obviously put a moisturizer on. I'm only going to put a little bit because this stuff kind of like a heavy duty moisturizer. This is also Philosophy Renewed Hope in a Jar, and this one is actually for dry skin. If you have oily skin or if you have combination, they do make one for that. But being that my skin is kind of dry right now, being that it's winter, I just like this one a lot. And being that I wear the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, it dries my face out. It's technically not even good for dry skin, so I love it so much that I'm willing to sacrifice my skin drying out. So I always resort to a moisturizer. And last but not least, the last prepping that we're going to be doing is you need a primer to make sure that your foundation and your makeup and everything stays in place all day long. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. It smells amazing. It has a lot of coconut oil in it, which is amazing for the skin. I'm not going to put it all over. I'm just going to put it in like the areas where my foundation typically comes off easily, which is the T-zone. Even though I do not have oily skin, for some reason I always notice that it comes off right there more than everywhere else on the face. So now you just want to let that dry for about 2 or 3 minutes just to let it sink in the skin and, you know, let it dry. I'm going to be using my Benefit Conditioning Primer. This goes in the brows. And if you've never heard of this, what it does is it's almost like a little comb, and you just like twist the bottom and it comes out of the little comb at the top. And it pretty much sets your brows for wherever they're going to lay for the whole day. So if you want your brows to stay in the shape, once you put this on, it's going to dry and it will have all the hairs in the place that you want to keep them. I love this stuff. I use it literally every day. I bought it almost, I'd say a month ago, and I use it literally almost every day, and it's lasted me this long. I do not know how much is left in it. That's the only sucky part. You don't have a way to tell. And it is $28, which is quite pricey for like pretty much a brow set. but I feel like it's worth it. So once again, that is the conditioning primer by Benefit. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing my double wear foundation. This is of course by Estee Lauder, my go-to favorite foundation in the world. And I'm going to be applying that with a beauty blender. So next, I'm going to be going in with my Soft Ochre Pro Longwear Paint Pack. Pro Longwear Paint Pot by MAC. This is going to be my eye base, and I'm just going to be using a flat brush, and in this case, I'm using the MAC 242 brush. And I'm going to be applying that evenly all over the lid. So now I'm going to just set that with a eyeshadow that's kind of like skin neutral, but I want it to be kind of light still. So I'm going to be going in with the new palette that we're going to be using today, which is the Kat Von D Metal palette. I'm going to be using Bone, which is this one right here. And I'm just putting that all over the lid just to make sure that it's set and that no creasing happens. And I'm going to show you the palette, but first I want to do my brows and then I'll formally introduce the palette to you. Okay, so as usual for the brows, I'm going to go with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in Ebony. And I'm going to be taking just a good old angled brush for this. Okay, so the whole reason behind this tutorial is the Kat Von D Metal palette. First of all, this is the biggest palette that I think I've ever seen, at least in this shape. Okay, it is fucking huge. There are, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23 colors in here. This is the packaging. So it's really, really pretty, black, silver. As soon as you open it, it has this really nice mirror right here. And then it has all of the matte colors as you see on the bottom. And then all the frost colors at the top. There is a big variety of colors. I was pretty impressed with it. They're not summery, they're not fall. They're kind of like a bit of everything. So this color palette is very versatile. You can do a lot with it. You can do natural or you can do smoky. For today, I'm going to be doing kind of smoky just because it is wintertime, it is December, and of course you know that I love doing a smoky eye. I have not used this palette before. I dipped my fingers in a few of the colors and so far they feel really buttery, very pigmented, so I'm really excited to be using it. So the first brush that we're going to start off with, of course, is my MAC 224 brush. If you do not own the MAC 224 brush, I would highly recommend getting a brush that looks similar to this, just because we're going to be doing a lot of blending at the top for our transition color. And this is what the 224 brush looks like. So it's just like a long fluffy brush. So anyways, I think the first color that I want to use, for some reason, I keep going to it, is Fringe, which is this peach color right here. It's located kind of like in the middle. And I'm just going to be going back and forth with this for my first transition color. This color is a lot brighter on the skin than what it looks like in the palette. That's crazy. So that tells you that it's super pigmented because the color shows up very, very nicely. And don't judge my nails, they look so bad. I've been meaning to go get them done. But they're really damaged right now from getting my nails done so much, and I've ripped them off literally probably like 5 times in the past like 6 months. So I'm kind of giving them a break. So I'll probably, I don't know if I'll be getting fake ones for another few weeks. I'm trying to just, like I said, let them breathe. So right now I'm just painting them and they look jacked up. So anyways, the next shade that we're going to be using, this is going to be like totally like just out there. I really hope this looks cute. Honestly, I don't know where this is gonna go, but I have a really good feeling about it. So the next shade we're gonna be using is, fuck, I don't know. Let's do Silk. Silk is right here. It's like a really pretty lavender color. I'm gonna be taking the same exact brush and going in the crease again, but trying to stay a little bit more below where I put that coral in. I'm just trying to create a good like depth right below fringe, and this one actually blends in like perfectly. It's giving me exactly what I want. And to get a little bit more in there, I'm going to be going in with my MAC 217 brush with the same color. I just want to get more in the crease with this and not have it blown out everywhere, which is what the 224 typically does. So now the next color we're going to be doing is Ribbon, which is right beside it, and it is a dark purple. I'm going to be kind of going a little bit on the lid with this and stopping once I get to the crease. Okay, so now I'm taking Velvet, which is at the end, which is my favorite color of all time because you know that I love burgundy. So I'm going to be packing this more so on the lid. So pretty much all we're doing is like layering everything, starting from the top, working our way to the bottom, and it's pretty much like light and then it goes to darkness. It almost looks like an ombre effect. And I'm going back and blending it in a little bit. So I still want to keep it smoky, but I also really want to use one of these shimmery colors. So I'm going to go over the dark portion with Volts. Wait, is that Volts? Yes, Volts. Right here is the purple one. And I'm going to put a little bit of this over the lid. And Volt is not super shimmery, so it honestly doesn't even really show up. Maybe because it's over the matte, I'm not sure. It's almost like false assumption because it really looks like it's going to be like shimmery and glittery in the palette, but it's not. But whatever. And I'm just adding a little bit more ribbon in the corners. So now I'm going to be taking... Why does my left eye look so much smaller than my right? Doesn't that look smaller? What's wrong with me? So I'm going to take my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, and I'm going to be lining at the top of my eye. And yes, I do have fallout. I'm aware of that, but there's nothing I can do now. So now I'm taking MAC Coffee Pencil, and I'm going to be going in the inner waterline and kind of like going back and forth underneath that. And I'm going to be going kind of heavy on the bottom because I want this to be really smoky. Going in with Silk, which is that light purple one, and I'm going to be kind of like buffing it underneath that eyeshadow that I just put under there. This is really going to intensify the smokiness and make it look really, really dramatic. So now I'm going to be going in with Jet, which is the matte black on the end. I'm going to be taking the opposite end of the brush and going as close to the lash line as possible. I don't want to look like a raccoon, so I'm going to try and be very careful to only stay on the lash line. Alright, so now I'm going in with my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, of course in the lightest shade. Get out of my fucking hair. Now I'm going to blend that out with a beauty blender. So I'm going a little bit back over with the It Bye Cosmetics Under Eye Brightener, Concealer, whatever. Just because I'm super pale and I feel like the Urban Decay concealer is like almost my foundation color. The It Cosmetics, however, is definitely a little bit lighter, as you can see. So I am just going over it just a little bit. Under the eye and over the nose. Alright, and so now I'm going to set that with my light Mineralize Skin Finish Powder. They do have a loose one, but I like the pressed version. And I'm just going to be patting under the eye. Now you're probably wondering if you're, first of all, if you watch my channel, you're probably wondering why I'm not using a loose powder. You can use loose powder. You can use a loose powder still, but this one actually gives a little bit of coverage while brightening up under my eye because it is an actual colored powder. And it is, I think this is the lightest one. Extra light. I think they have extra light. I can't even remember, but I just really like to use this one to set it. But you do have to kind of put a lot on. So now it's time to contour since you don't want to look like a ghost. I'm going to take my Park Avenue Princess by Tarte bronzer, and it looks like this. It's like a cool tone. This is like one of my favorite bronzers of all time. And I'm taking, and I have to say my favorite brush of all time is the Morphe M523 brush. This is my favorite one to contour with. So I'm just going to be going under the cheekbones as usual. Next thing I'm going to be doing is using, which is a new product of mine. This is the Mercier, what is it called? Face Illuminator in Devotion. It does have a pretty price tag, but it is literally worth it. It's amazing. I love the packaging. It looks like silk sheets. It's super buttery, super creamy when it goes on the skin. I freaking love it. And I'm using the, I can't even see this. The number's scratched off, but anyways, it's just a synthetic brush. But it literally looks so natural, and it's not too like golden for my skin because I've been using, you know, the Jaclyn Hill face palette, but that one, the Champagne Pop, is super gold on me since I'm so pale now. So this one is almost like a pearl, like iridescent color. It really complements my skin way more than the Jaclyn Hill palette does now. And don't get me wrong, I still love it. I still use it a lot, but ever since I got this one a few days ago, I'm pretty much obsessed. Then I'm going to be using my MAC Animal Instincts blush. This is a limited edition. They do not have it anymore. However, it's just like a really pretty dark rose color. And I'm going to be taking my MAC 129 brush for this. Now I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in Sepia. I just got this. This is not new. It's been out for forever now, but I actually went to the store and they had a full stock. Normally it's always sold out. And I really didn't want to order it online without really seeing it because it looks really light in pictures, but when I put it on my skin the other night it was like super dark. So I don't know what this looks like, so we're just going to test it. Super dark, but it's perfect for this look and for winter. So now I'm going to be going in with my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, putting a coat on that on the lashes, and then we're going to be putting on our fake lashes. So now I'm doing House of Lashes in Iconic. If you know me, you know that these are my absolute all-time favorite lashes of all times. And the great thing about these are they're only $12 with really cheap shipping. I absolutely love these. So that completes the look for today. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. As you know, if you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I just want to thank everyone for all of your love and support, and of course for always sending me love and good vibes in the comment section. It means the world to me. I'm totally aware and I'm totally guilty that I've been slacking in the YouTube world lately, and I feel like shit about it, honestly. So I'm really trying to step up my game and get back in. And overall, I just really miss helping out women and girls all over the world and giving out my tips and tricks and how I do everything. I love being able to help y'all. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'm also going to leave my other social media links down below in the description box. Everything that I used today is also going to be in the description box, so don't forget to go check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Bye.